So city real focus number 3 is median house or condo value. Median house or condo value. And I've been playing a lot with this one. I actually did a lot of simulations today. I went up a little bit to like 59 and then realized it was off and I came back down to 58. So I've actually edited this slide several times today. 58% growth is what you want to see in house and condo value, right? So obviously you want the value of your home to increase. You're a landlord, you want that value going up. How much is enough? Well, between these 2 years, 2000 and 2021, once again, publicly available data, you want there to be a 58% increase in home price. And that's the minimum. Big, higher is better. 60% in this case would be better than 58%. And this applies to cities of all size. Could be a big city, could be a small city. It applies to all of them. And once again, this data only applies for this year. Do not use this number in 2025 because currently, because of inflation, home prices are going up. So it's going to change next year. All right. So before I go to real focus number 4, I'm going to give you a demo again. I'm going to say, okay, so let's look at real focus number 2 and find it somewhere. Let's go. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to city-data. And once again, for the purposes of this exercise, I will type in Columbus, Ohio. My favorite demo cities. It's not my favorite city to invest in. You're actually going to find out what my favorite city is in about 15 minutes. But Columbus is a really nice city to invest in, the jewel of the Midwest. All right, so here, I'm going to make text a little bit bigger, easier to read. There. All right, so let's go down here. So all I'm doing is typing in Columbus, Ohio. I go to the next page. There's a bunch of pictures of Columbus. I skip those. I scroll down a little bit. And here, I come across this section. Do you see this section here? I'm highlighting it for you, right? Estimated median household income in 2021, about 58 grand. People are earning about 58,000 in median household income in Columbus. Was $37,000 in 2000. So you notice there's a 2021 number and a 2000 number. As you can imagine, all you're doing is grabbing this number and plugging it in here, right? So I'm going to go 58,202. And then I'm going to grab this number, 37,897. It was already in there. And you notice that the median household income is up about 54%. I mean, you might say, ooh, 54%, right? That's a lot higher than my 35.8%. Yeah. Because that 35.8% is a little bit below the average for the United States. And Columbus is going an entire 1/3 faster. So its incomes are growing not at a 2% annualized rent bump increase. They're growing really for 3.5. You might even get 4% rent growth. In my world, 4% rent growth is absolutely astonishing. So that's a great number. And Columbus is doing really, really well on real focus number 2. Let's figure out how it does on real focus number 3, the median house and condo value. Where's that information? Same website. We had plugged in Columbus, Ohio, and we were right here, right? We were on this line. Well, if you look down 2 inches, you see this, and you see 2 numbers. The median home in Columbus is still very inexpensive, $219,000. That's cheap. That's cheap, right? 2021. What was that price in 2000? Well, it was less than half. It was 99,000. So once again, I'm going to take that number here. I'm going to take this number here, and I'm going to plug it into the spreadsheet. I'm going to scroll a little bit into the right. So 99,100 already in there. And then here, I'm going to plug in 219,200. And I'm going to hit enter. And wow, look at that number, 121%. That's the price increase over that time frame. You're like, oh, that's not hard. There's a lot of places higher than that. They are, but there's a lot of places that are not. Would you like me to show you an example? Let's go look at Cleveland. So we're going to go same state, Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to hit enter, and we're going to scroll down. And now we're going to pick up that income number for Cleveland right there. And we're going to say, okay, so this was 25,928. So I'm going to go plug this in here, 25,928. And then we're going to plug in the higher number, which is for this year, 35,562. You notice that the median household income growth is 37%, which is lower. So it's below this bound, right? Well, almost at that bound. So it's about there. So Cleveland's okay. But what about this number? Let's take a look at this number, the third one. So it's 83,400. So I'm going to plug in 83,400. Remember the number for Columbus was 121%. I'm going to plug in 71,100. And you're going to be shocked that when Columbus grew by 120%, Cleveland only grew by 17%. That, my friends, is the impact of population. Because there's so many people leaving, there are so many empty units that there's no inflation in home prices. 17% is awful over 21 years. Because think about it, inflation is 2.5% in the United States. In that time frame, you should have at least gotten 45, 50% home prices just to keep up in inflation. So not only are values not increases on an inflation adjusted basis, Cleveland is losing value. Your home that you bought for rental is earning you cash flow, while at the same time, its value is going down every year on an inflation adjusted basis. Do you see the difference? It's stunning. It's shocking how big that number is, that the gap is. And both cities are in the Midwest. They're both in a state that isn't growing. Ohio's not known for its growth, by the way. But one of them is a growing city, and the other one is a city that's not growing. This is why data-based investing tells you so much, so much. You could be earning zero cash flow in Columbus. If you had held the property for the last 10 years, you probably tripled your money because the properties have increased in value so much.